Hey Laura. Hey everyone. Can you, um, can you give me a number one in the chat box if you can hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? Can you give me a one if you can? Awesome. Perfect. Hey everybody. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes late. I was trying to mess with a couple of things and it didn't work out. So we'll save that for the next one. Hey, what's up, Amir, Anita, Brian? How's it going, guys? So Amir, you can chat, but you won't be able to be on the audio. No. Hey, Karen. Hey again, Laura. What's up, Elvira? All right. We'll give a couple more. We'll give it a couple more minutes to see who else is gonna join. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? Is everybody pretty much quarantine hemmed in? This is like Inception. Yeah, this whole screen thing. Yeah, it's always kind of a trip. Hey, Melina. Welcome. All right. How's the quarantine going for everybody? Everybody staying sane? You know what though? Yesterday, um, before we get started, it's been I went with my mother-in-law to go to Target, and we actually heard the person, the stock person, talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna get our shipment of toilet paper in tomorrow. So we actually showed up at Target at 8 o'clock in the morning, got a couple of the big packs, and we're good to go. We're ready. So hopefully you guys are doing the same. Hey, that's what's up, Amir. There you go. Got to see the bright side of things, right? All right. So we'll give it one more minute to see if anyone else is going to join. But yeah, and I mean, at least it's not raining. It's finish all of Netflix and the internet. Okay, nice. Move on to Hulu or Disney Plus. You know, whatever your poison is. All right, so it's 3:05, guys. So let's go ahead and jump in. Um, Insider information, exactly. Yeah. So let's go ahead and go to the slideshow. So one thing that I want you guys to know about this. Actually, hold on. Okay. So one thing that I want you guys to know about this, first of all, before we hop into the slideshow, I still have the chat going right now. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be keeping an eye on this just so I'll answer them as we get going. But just so you guys know, this slideshow that I have right now is going to be pretty vanilla. I could have made it look prettier, but it was going to take some time, and I thought it was just going to be as it's really just all about getting this information out to you guys as quickly as possible. Um, so really, how this is going to go is first I want to just go over how the week is going to go. Hey, Brooke, welcome. So I'm just telling everybody how the sessions are going to go. So the first 15, 20 or so minutes of each session for the next 4 days now um, is going to be Q&A. So really what I want you guys to do is as I'm doing these lessons, you'll have the video in the group that you can implement after the lesson's done so that for the next day you should have questions that, if something didn't work out, we can go through them in these sessions. Okay. But first, I just want to go over. why we're here, right? And it's been a really crazy time. I mean, I've had friends that have gotten laid off. I've heard of people just closing their doors. I was talking to somebody, and he runs an event planning company, and he was telling me, yeah, for the past 5 years, my business has been growing year after year, just growing and growing, and I would have never thought that a virus was the thing that was going to take us out, right? It's pretty crazy that this is happening, and really the reason why we're all here is we don't want to close our doors and we don't want to lay off employees, right? Give me a five in the chat if you agree with that, just to make sure everybody still can hear me. Did this freeze up? Yeah, yeah, right. It's rough. It's crazy, and it's totally. I mean, like, as far as being an entrepreneur, right? There's a lot of things that we really can't control, and we try to do as much as we can with what we can control. But this is just it's crazy. Um, so that said, I mean, with the boot camp that we're going to do, pretty much what I'm going to be sharing with you is the exact process that I use for all my projects, for all my clients. And what I want you to know here too is, hey Julie, welcome to the session. So what I want you to know about these lessons is because they are the exact processes that I have for my clients, I don't really want them floating around in space forever. So I haven't decided yet how long I'm going to keep these lessons up. Um, right now, I'm thinking either a week or I might keep them up there for as long as the quarantine is going. I haven't decided yet, but really what I'm trying to get at is I don't want you to wait, right? Once you have the information, I want you to act on it because, you know, yeah, like I said, I'll keep you guys updated on how long I want to keep them up, um, but yeah, it's definitely going to be for a limited time. So, what the next 5 days are going to look like is day one. So this is day one. We have Facebook and Instagram ads. I pretty much took the recommendation of everybody. I posted these polls in a couple of different places just to get an idea of what I want to talk about. So the first one is definitely going to be Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Tomorrow is going to be Google AdWords and Bing ads. Um, I've been experimenting a little bit with Bing ads, and it's actually coming out pretty well. So um, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Day three. So day three, I wanted to talk about organic SEO, but okay. So let me know what you guys think, right? Because organic SEO really is a long-term strategy. I mean, like when we bring on a client with organic SEO, we tell them like, it's going to be at least 6 months. So let me know in the chat if you think that the organic SEO is going to be valuable, or do you want something that is um, more actionable, just a quicker thing that we can do? What do you guys think? Hey, Cam, welcome. Yeah, so just let me know what you think about organic SEO. It's a long term strategy. It does take a lot longer to actually kick in. So is that something? Okay, quick. Okay. So for this, I can definitely change it to something else. The other idea would be landing page optimization and conversion rate optimization. Um, so that may be what I replace it with. Okay. Yeah, so we'll do something else for day three. Um, need both really. Short term is definitely needed here. Long term. Yep. Okay. Okay. So here's maybe what I'll do is So we'll still keep organic SEO right here. And then day four, I actually left a section on there that I wanted to ask you guys what I could fill it with. I do want to talk about landing page optimization and conversion rate optimization, just because if you're doing paid advertising, we really need to talk about how to optimize your landing pages. And then the last, awesome. So the last day for day five is going to be just a full on Q&A section. So every day after this, the first 15, 20 minutes is going to be Q&A, and then we'll go into the content, and then we'll do a Q&A after. And then day four and day five is going to be a lot of Q&A. So just definitely take action. I'll be honest, you guys are going to screw things up. Things are not going to work the first time, and that's fine. And that's really what we want to have, right? Because as you make mistakes and things don't quite work, you start to learn what you need to do. And of course, the Q&A sessions will be here so that, if you have ad copy that you want to run by the group, or I can take a look at it, or if you have sample landing pages, we'll be able to go through them. So just keep this schedule in mind. It's pretty accurate for what I want to do. So for today, we have quite a bit of agenda. So before we hop into this, I want you guys to know that I'll let you dictate how long this live goes on for. I've blocked out 2 hours. Okay, so at the end of this, if you have a lot of questions, I'll stay on here as long as I can, as long as you guys have questions. But if it only takes an hour, that's all it's going to take. So just, if you have any sort of question at all, doesn't matter what it is, go ahead and ask it now so that as you take action tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, you'll have some good questions at the start of tomorrow's session so we can just hop right into that. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple of things today. So we're going to talk about why Facebook and Instagram ads just work so well. We'll go over a high-level overview of really what we're doing. We're also going to talk about how to set up your Facebook pixel, what that is. I'll tell you what that is. Don't worry about that right now. We'll also talk about creating custom audiences, custom conversions, and then we'll talk about the campaigns, ad sets, and ads. And for those of you guys that are new to digital marketing, pretty much every paid advertising channel out there is set up by campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about targeting. And this right here, I'm leaving this at the end, how to write ad copy, because in my experience, this is pretty much the thing that trips people up, is how to write ad copy. So I want to leave that at the end so that we can give it the most time as we're going through. Okay. Let me see if there's any questions in the chat. Hey, what's up, Mark? So no questions right now. So like I said, guys, as I'm going through these, go ahead and ask the questions that you have as I'm going through, and I'll just look over at the chat and try to answer them as they come in. Okay, so why Facebook and Instagram ads? So Facebook is really the largest social media platform on the planet, and it's really cost effective compared to other forms of advertising. All right, so I believe we have like a Blair Family Law Group. So I was working with a family law firm in Vegas, and for like divorce attorney Las Vegas, each click on Google is worth $100 and something, right? And $100 in Facebook ads could feed your ads for a week, two maybe, right? So it's really just cost effective. And Facebook ads allows us to target our ideal client really, really specifically. So this is, we can really view this kind of as in a creepy way, but every action that you take on Facebook and on other websites puts you in a certain bucket, right? And I'll talk about what those buckets are. But like if you like a post, right, that puts you in a certain bucket. Whereas somebody that doesn't usually like posts, if you play a video, that puts you in a certain bucket. If you like a certain store, right? Those are all different things that you take actions on in Facebook that will put you in a certain bucket. And really, why that is important is because the way that I look at Facebook is because people segment themselves so much on Facebook, it's literally like shooting fish in a barrel. So now our jobs as advertisers is to figure out which bucket we want to target with our offer, with our service, with our products so that, they can buy, right? So the next thing I want to go over with you guys is, so before we go forward, any questions so far? The other way you can look at this is like a Venn diagram. Yes, so like a Venn diagram, right? So a really quick example would be for, let's say, um, let's say wedding photographers, right? So the Venn diagram would be right here would be women, for example, and right here would be, your relationship needs to be engaged. And then right here, you need to like the website, the Knot. Well, if you can satisfy those three different things and you're a wedding photographer, if you can advertise to the people that are in the middle, you have a high chance of landing a client or getting business or whatever you're trying to do, right? So that's essentially what we're trying to do with Facebook advertising. No questions yet? Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going. So just a high level overview of what we're going to do here. This is just a really easy way to visualize what we do when we run advertising on Instagram and Facebook. So to the left right here is the general population, right? And then to the right is where we make money. So how we take that person on that journey from being part of the general population is we entice them with Facebook advertising. So one thing that we got to think of here is Facebook and Instagram advertising is what's called interruption marketing, right? So if somebody's on Facebook or Instagram, they're not looking for a carpet cleaner, or they're not looking to get their teeth whitened, or they're not looking for an attorney, right? So what we need to do as business owners and as advertisers is catch their attention with either an image or an offer, and then um, that's what we do with our ads. Now, one thing that a lot of people that are new with doing Facebook advertising that they get wrong is they try to sell the product in the Facebook ad or in the Instagram ad. That's not really what we want to do. So what we want to do in our ad is sell the button click, right? So so tell me, guys, what do you think? Why do you think we want to sell the click instead of sell the product in the Facebook ad? Can you just give me some ideas? Let's get some engagement going. Anyone? Why do you want to sell the button click instead of the product? What are we trying to do here? Clicks at the website. Why do we want them on our website, Karen? Why do we want them on the website? You guys have it right. Bring folks to the website. Certain bucket. Okay. See more of what you have. Okay. We're getting close. Traffic, more sales. Okay. So, okay. Let me ask you guys, what is Facebook and Instagram designed to do? Like, I understand the social media and it's designed to keep us connected and whatever, but what is it designed to see the portfolio? They can read, need to get it exactly, increase click through rate. So, you guys have it right, but really, more traffic to our Facebook page. One thing that we think about is Facebook and Instagram as platforms, as websites, as apps, right? It's not, it's designed to distract people, right? And let me ask you guys this. For those of you that do sales, okay, for those of you that do sales, have you ever sold a prospect that wasn't paying attention, that was on their phone, that was looking at the window? Have you ever had a successful sales meeting like that where the person was texting, they're on their phone, they're looking at Facebook, right? It's a really distracting thing being on Facebook. So we want to get them into our website because well, so let's not say let's say landing page, because this landing page, once they land on this landing page, this page is designed to do one thing, and that's to sell, right? Lynn embedded my pets too. Hey, so yeah, so really we want to take them away from Facebook and Instagram because these two platforms are really distracting, right? I mean, people will spend hours just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and we want to take them away from this area where there's a lot of distraction. Take them to our website or a landing page where this page is designed to then sell them on what we do, right? So one thing that we can also talk about is Facebook ad retargeting. So once that person lands on here, only a certain percentage of those people is going to fill out whatever you're trying to collect, whatever information, and a lot of them will fall out. And so if we install what's called your Facebook pixel on your landing page, we can then retarget them again on Facebook and try to bring them back, right? And then the next step in the journey is if they submit their name, their email, their phone number, that then becomes a lead. And then on the thank you page, we'll have another call to action. So usually this is call me now to schedule an appointment or something like that. And a lot of people won't schedule that appointment. So then we can have another chance to retarget them. And then at the end of this is where all the money's at. So right now it's a really, I'm not really able to visualize it well. So let's give an example, right? So let's say we're running Facebook ads for a yoga studio, for example, right? So we're running Facebook ads offering 10% off yoga classes, right? So we're running ads to women that are interested in what's a yoga thing like Lululemon. I'm not really sure. I'm sorry. People that are interested in yoga, staying fit, hiking, whatever. And then we try to get them to click on the button that'll take them to our landing page. And all this landing page is going to talk about is, hey, sign up for 10% off the yoga classes for our yoga classes, right? Now, let's say 10% of those people become a lead, the rest don't. We can then retarget the people that didn't become leads to try and bring them back to try and sell them again, right? So how many of you have heard that it takes what, like 7 touches before you can get someone's attention, before you make a sale? I believe is what the phrasing is, 7 touches, right? That's what this is. So this is the first touch, and then we do this over and over and over again until they finally want to buy. We essentially just beat them down into wanting to buy our product, right? Um, and then another benefit that you get once you make a person a lead is you have their email address. Now you can sell that person over and over again, right? So let's say that person opts in, they become a lead, And the thank you page, you get them to schedule your classes. If they schedule that class and they come, that's money in your pocket, right? And if they don't, we retarget them again and again and again until they say, okay, I got this 10% off coupon. I keep getting these marketing ads, or I keep seeing, XYZ Yoga Studio on Facebook. Let me go ahead and use that coupon and check them out, right? And that's where we make the money. Um, is that making sense to everybody so far? Oh, and so one thing that I also didn't include here is another way to you can retarget is actually doing an email marketing campaign. Um, but that's a story for another day. So for now, we're just going to stick with fake ad retargeting, right? So really, the whole point of this is we want to get in front of that person, get them into our world, and once they're in our world, we keep in front of them using retargeting ads. Another way I've used this is for those of you that have done some networking with me, have gotten some of my cards. There's a little QR code on my card that you scan on your phone, and if you scan it, it'll take you to a page on my website that'll give you a free SEO checklist. And the way that I use that is once they turn in that SEO checklist, that person becomes a lead. And the next logical step is to offer them a free consultation to go over that checklist, right? And that's where I make the money is once we go over that checklist, that's essentially the end of the funnel, right? Awesome. So So let's talk about what a Facebook pixel is. So a Facebook pixel, at its very basic concept, is it's a piece of code that allows us marketers, business owners to track users on our websites and target them based on the actions that they take. So if we go back to this yoga studio example, if they land on this page and don't do anything else and they leave, we'll give them a different set of ads versus if they became a lead, they made it to the thank you page, but they didn't schedule their class. We'll serve them a whole different set of ads because they already got the coupon, right? We want them to take the class. So that's essentially what the Facebook pixel is going to help us do. And one thing that you guys should do and should have on your browser is what's called the Facebook Pixel Helper. So if you search just Facebook Pixel Helper, so it's just a Chrome extension that if you have this installed in Chrome, this is what it looks like. If we go to this website, so this is one of my websites. Yes, if a pixel exists on this website, you're good to go. So when you guys install the pixel on your websites, we'll just run this test to make sure that you did everything correctly, and this will show up. Okay, so it's just a way to check your work when you do that. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up the Facebook pixel. Um, so the process for setting up the Facebook pixel is going to be the same. Um, we just need to attach the code in the head section of your website. So let me go back into the chat. How many of you have a WordPress site? And if you're in Wix or Squarespace or anything like that, just go to YouTube, right? And Facebook Pixel Wix, right? If you have a Wix website, how to add a Facebook Pixel to your Wix website in 30 seconds. I don't know why he added guarantee, or if you have. So use YouTube as a resource because I won't be going through the platform. Okay. So yeah, Olivia, you have a Squarespace site. You can just boom, Facebook Pixel Squarespace. Anita. So Anita, what kind of website do you have? Can you type in the chat, please? Um, yeah, use Facebook or use YouTube as a resource to figure out, you know, how to do it for your specific platform. What I'm going to show you guys right now is how to do it for WordPress. And I mean, WordPress is pretty much the most complicated way to do it out of all of them. Um, so what we do is we go into our Facebook business account. So how many of you signed up for the Facebook business account? Like I had that video in the I had that video in the group. So if you have that already, this is what it would look like once you log in. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you the mine just because I have a bunch of clients in there that I, you know, don't want to share their information. I don't think that would be the right thing to do. But once you log in to your um, business manager, and if you've set up your ad account, you should be able to see these little blue boxes, right? And they're building one right now on Dotster. I think I can add it. Had one act. Yes, signed up. Okay. So if you guys go to business facebook.com, right? So this is business.facebook.com is the website, right? If you type that in, you will see this screen. And if you have your ad account already set up, you should see, you should only have one of these blue boxes. You just click that and it'll take you to what's called the ads manager, which looks like this. Okay. So once we're logged into our specific ad account, all we got to do, and yeah, so for this in Facebook advertising, if you are confused about anything, you always look for the hamburger. Okay, this hamburger has all the answers in Facebook advertising. Okay, so anything you're looking for. So right now we are setting up our pixel. All we got to do is click the hamburger, look for the pixel. Right, so the pixel is in measure and report, and right here, pixels. Right, so we just click pixels. And don't worry too much right now if this is confusing. Like I said, this video is going to be left in the group, so you can just, the best way to do it is to watch the video and then implement, and then just pause the video as you'll be able to as a resource. So here, pixel, and right here we can create a pixel. Just go ahead and do that. Let's do sample pixel, and we'll do it for my website. Hit continue. So I'm going to set it up manually just so you guys can see. So once we click that button, we get this code, right? And you just click this to copy the code. And like I said, for setting up the pixel, WordPress is pretty much the most complicated one. So if you're in WordPress, how you do this is you can number one install a plugin. That's totally fine. The way that I do it is you go to appearance, theme, editor. I'm going to show you this way, and then I'll show you the plugin way. I don't like to install more plugins than I need to on my website, so that's why I'm showing it to you this way, but I'll also show you the plugin way. So you find the header, right? So if we go back to the instructions, attach the code in the head section of your website before the /head. So if you guys, well, that's getting too far into it. So in the realm of HTML, How you define a section is with the pointy brackets, and then how you end that section is with the pointy brackets with the slash in front of the word. So, for example, right here is the start of the head section, and right here is the end, and that's where we want our Facebook pixel to be, right? And you just paste that, update the file, file edited successfully, should be good to go. And now we can see Pixel Helper, right? If we look at the numbers, three, all right, 33624. So it's the same number. All right, so now if we go back, if you want to do it the plugin method, the plugin that I always use is header footer. This one, the SoGo add script to individual pages header footer. That's the one that I usually use. But you guys see it. I'm getting too far into it now, but if anyone has any questions with this, just reach out to me and I'll help you through it. Yeah, code is scary. Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys run into any issues with setting up the pixel, just reach out to me and I'll help you set it up. But I promise you, this is pretty much the most complicated part of it as far as the code is concerned. So let's just move forward. So, creating custom audiences. So, again, what we talked about earlier is that with Facebook, our ability to target different audiences is really the most powerful part of it, right? So, with Facebook, we can create audiences from previous customers and people who visit your website. And then on top of that, we can have Facebook look for people that look like your previous customers, look like people that visit your website. And we can also, again, target people based on the actions that they take. So let me pull up this example. So let's say you have um, a yoga studio. I'm just stuck on that example, so we'll use that. And you're a yoga studio. You've been collecting fees from your members, and I'm opening it up right now. And let's say you have a list of your members, right? Right here, you have a list. We can use this list to throw into Facebook to create an audience. So again, the hamburger knows all. So just click the hamburger right here, audiences, click that. You know what? Streaming this live is really slowing things down. Okay, so here we go. So we want to create some audience. So so let's go back into the chat for a moment. How many of you already have a list, right? Have a list of customers, whether it's email, phone number, whatever it is. How many of you already have a list? I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so I'll just keep going for now. I think there's a delay. Um, so let's say XYZ Yoga Studio. I already have a list of customers, right? just go over here to customer list. Ooh, this is fine. Oh, second, I'm gonna pick a different ad. Okay, so let's say we have a list and this is the ad account for our yoga studio, right? We go to audiences. Awesome. You already have list. Perfect. Yes. Always looking to grow that. Awesome. Okay. So now that we have that, we can create an audience, custom audience. And right here we have our customer list, and we can just upload our customer list. Just hit next. Include customer value. So this is if you put a dollar value for each person on your list. I don't usually. And then right here, we can now upload our file. So let's do that. Is it in here? The sample. And for now, let's do just sample customer list. Next. More modifiers. Okay, so let's go back. So one thing that you guys can also do is download the list template. Right, so Facebook has a certain way that they want to see the data. Let me fire this up. So they have a certain way that they want to see the data. So one of the best ways to do this is to just download this list and then copy yours over. And then you'll be able to hopefully not have as much of trouble as I'm having. So let's try. Let me go back to this again. Hold on. No. Okay, so I uploaded another sample list that now this is taking. Um, so now it would look like this. You just get a bunch of green checks. That's telling us, yes, Facebook is happy. We can now upload and create this audience. And now we can use this list that we uploaded, right? So here we have our sample list. So now let's go back to this. Now we can make lookalike audiences based on that list. So all we have to do is, again, we are in the audience page, create audience, and then create lookalike audiences. So pixel. Okay. So with lookalike audiences, this is so Facebook has a way of measuring how, I guess, close somebody is to another person, and based off of those similarities, we can target, that same type of people with the same type of interest. Because, if another person has the same interest and have the same demographics as our customer, well, more than likely they're going to want to buy our products, right? Or use our services or whatever the case may be. So what you do is you can use a custom audience again from your customer list to do this. Oh. And then the only thing that's different here is when you select audience location, you just gotta tell it what country you're in, and everybody here is in the United States. And then from there, you can select audiences based on the percentage similarities that they have. Now, I will say that with the lookalike audiences, when I run different tests, the 0 to 1% similarity isn't always the best performing ones. Sometimes it's the 2%, sometimes the 3%, and that's really just something that you're going to have to test. Okay, so what I would do is just run a bunch and test it to see which one gets you leads and gets you results, and then keep that one, right? So this is the point where I really can't tell you yes or no definitively. This is where the testing and the data has to come in, right? So that's how you create a lookalike audience, and then target people based on the actions that they take. So let's go back to this custom audience. So now we can target on our website. So now we're using our pixel, right? And we can target all website visitors. I believe it's up to 180 days. So we can target visitors up to 180 days. So again, if we go back to this, right? If this person goes from our ad, clicks the button, lands on the landing page, but they don't opt in, they don't give us information, we can target them through Facebook and Instagram for up to 180 days, right? So for you guys, I mean, it really just depends on what you're trying to do. If you are business to business, you're going to want to just target everybody that lands on your website. And because, I mean, usually with business to business, it's a longer sales cycle usually. So you want to just stay in front of these people. Now, if you sell a product or a service, you can target based on specific web pages. So for example, right, if we go back to this, if we just target people that landed on xyzyogastudio.com/10%, so that means that we will be able to make an audience of the people that landed specifically on this page, and we can target them for 180 days. Right? What we have to do is name this, so yoga studio 10% page view. Right? So we're just telling ourselves and letting ourselves know, okay, this certain audience are the people that landed on the yoga studio 10% offer, and they just looked at the page. And then we just create the audience, and then boom, we have the audience. So now when we go later down the line, we'll be able to use this. Okay, so that is creating audiences. So any burning questions with the custom audiences, please throw them in the chat. I'm going to look at them. So Elvira, how often would that retargeting happen? So that depends on a couple of things. How big is your audience, and how much ad budget do you have? And I'll actually show you here in just a moment how we can get some rough numbers. But those are really the two main variables in how often somebody gets retargeted is how big the audience is, so how big your list is, and how much of a budget you have for retargeting. The next thing that we want to also look at is your custom versions. So for this, it's kind of like a custom audiences, but this is more for Facebook, right? So a custom conversion means if somebody landed on the thank you page, right? So they went from our Facebook ad, they clicked the button, they landed on the landing page, they typed in their information, they became a lead, and they now have landed onto our thank you page. Um, what the custom conversion is going to do is it's going to let Facebook know, hey, Facebook, this is an action that we want to track because it's significant to our business, right? And once you have that custom conversion, it'll allow Facebook to optimize their algorithm so that they can find more people that look like the person that went through the entire process to become a lead, right? Because if they land on the thank you page, they became a lead. So now we can tell Facebook, hey, optimize for those people that take that action so that we can get more leads and end up with more purchases, right? So how we do that is, again, the hamburger knows everything. Measure and report, custom conversions, right? And guys, throw questions in there. I'm getting a couple more coming in. And tell me what you guys think of the content so far. I mean, are you guys finding this stuff valuable? Are the wheels turning on how you can use this? So create custom conversion, right? So again, custom conversion. We don't want to track everybody that lands on or actually, yeah. So we want to track all URL traffic, and all we want to do is we want to put the landing page URL. So I'll give you guys an example, right? So let's say this is our landing page, right? And we say yes, test at test.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so this is the journey of somebody that went onto Facebook, that came from Facebook, landed on this landing page to get 30 days of unlimited yoga for $30. They submit their information, test at test.com. Boom. Okay, I'm going to use my real email. So now we land onto the thank you page, right? So this would be the thank you page. We became a lead. So now what we want to do is just copy this URL, go back to the custom conversions, type it in here, and then just say yoga 10% custom conversion. Conversion. Select a category, view content, and create. So now we have told Facebook, hey, that action that person just is significant to my business, to my bottom line. Please keep track of that. And now Facebook can tell us, okay, this is how many custom conversions you got. Let's go ahead and optimize our algorithm to deliver you more of those types of conversions. Right? Perfect. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna keep all days, just because there's honestly a lot into this, right? Um, so custom conversions. So that's really what we use custom conversions for. So now let's talk about campaign, ad sets, and ads. So for campaign, ad sets, and ads for Facebook, so depending on the platform that we're on, each of these things will do different things. But for this platform, really all the campaign is what type of objective that we want the ads to have. Our ad sets let us control the audience, and then the ads is the actual message and creative. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through it. So ads manager. Okay. Liking the retargeted ads. Yep. See, Elvira, I mean, so with the retargeting ads, um, yeah. I mean, sometimes I think it's creepy, but honestly, it works really well, right? And just so you guys know, the retargeting ads is some of the best traffic you're ever going to get, right? It comes the cheapest and it's some of the best converting traffic just because that person is already engaged with your organization, right? Your brand, your company, whatever it is. So it's really the best kind of traffic that you can get. So remember how earlier we were talking about each action that you take puts you in a certain bucket, right? We are talking about that earlier. That's where these objectives come in, right? So we can have a campaign that is designed for more engagement. So this is getting likes, shares, whatever on your ads. We can have video views. So if you want to create a video ad, these you get your people that are more likely to watch them, right? Traffic and so traffic would be somebody that is more likely to click on the link and then land on your landing page, right? So that's that kind of ad. Now, one thing that a lot of people that are new to Facebook advertising, a mistake that they make is they go for conversions right away. And the reason for that is because if your pixel is new and if it's never gotten a conversion, Facebook doesn't know what a conversion is. That's why we set up the custom conversions, right? So that we can tell Facebook, okay, watch out for people that take this action. That's a conversion in my world. Now, typically what we do is we get at least 50 up to 100 conversions before we run a conversion ad. Because at that point, Facebook should have enough data to know, okay, this is a conversion, right? One thing that we won't talk about today is a lead generation ad. And all this is if you've ever seen those ads where if you click it, instead of taking you to a landing page, there's a page that opens up on Facebook. All that is a lead generation ad. And one thing that you should know about that is with lead generation, okay, you will get more leads into your system, but they'll be lower quality. And the reason for that is because it's so easy for somebody to just click the ad and then usually their information will automatically populate onto the form and then they just hit submit, right? So the easier it is for somebody to submit their information, the lower the quality, right? And that's the reason why I like to do landings, just because if somebody read through our ad, they clicked onto our landing page, they read our landing page, I actually even, it took me a couple of tries to fill out that form. If somebody did all of those things, they're interested in what you have to offer, right? So that's just that is just a side note on that. Do you have basic packages put together for businesses to speed up for them? I will go ahead. I'll do that for you, Milena, so you can have an idea. Yes. So for now, what we're going to do is just traffic, right? So if we go back to this, right? So campaign objective. What is our objective? We want to get traffic, right? The next is going to be our ad set. That's our audience. So this is where things get fun, guys. So we got through all the setup at the start, and that's actually the stuff that is pretty much no fun, right? Um, Now this is where actually things get pretty fun. So let's just do sample traffic, continue. This is where we start to target our audience, right? So here we go. Can you repeat that again? Why the information filled out in forms not good? Well, Elvira, in those lead form ads, um, it's not as high of quality just because of how easily it is to submit the information. So for those lead form ads, you just have to click two buttons and your information is submitted, right? So the barrier is really low, so you'll get a lot more leads, but they just won't be as high quality. Whereas if somebody read your ad on Facebook, they went onto the landing page, they read what's on the landing page, and then they typed in the information onto that opt-in form, and then they submitted, they had to do a lot more work to submit their information. So that means they're just a better lead because they just worked for it, right? So that's it. Let me know if that answers your question. Um, so like I said earlier, the ad set portion is where we can target our audiences. So earlier we set up our custom audiences, right? So we have our sample list that we can use. So if you have a service or a product that um, your customer continuously buys from you, this is a great way to keep in front of them. So let me just back up a second. I was talking to one of my clients, right? And I was asking him, hey, so how often do your customers need your service, right? And he tells me, oh, it's usually about 3 to 6 months is when they should do it. So I asked him, well, when's the last time you reached out to your, current customer list? And he told me never. Well, that's crazy, right? If they need your service every 3 to 6 months, you should be getting in front of them every 3 to 6 months, right? So this is a great way to do that is we can take our sample customer list and just continuously market to them so that in 3 to 6 months they'll see your ad and um, hopefully entice them to work with you again. Because I mean, in business, right, the easiest sale that we can make as business owners is to a customer that already bought from us, right? Business page, yeah. So yeah, the easiest sale that you can make is to a customer that you've already sold to before. It's a lot more expensive to get somebody out of the cold traffic that's out there on the planet to get them interested into your service and then into your company and then to then buy from you, right? So just keep that in mind. That's why retargeting is so powerful. But as we're right here, we can just again use that, let's say, sample customer list that we uploaded earlier. You can just click that and it'll automatically just tell Facebook, hey, this is that group of people from that Excel sheet are the only people I want to target, right? If you have your lookalike audiences, you can you can pick them as well. Whichever audience you want to target, you can just pick that from here. But for this example, what I want to do is actually go through the interest targeting because I think this is actually the most fun part of Facebook advertising. So if we use that yoga example, right? So I don't really know a lot of men that do yoga. So for now, let's just target women. Right here, age group. Right here, this is going to be important. If you guys are a local business or local, you offer your services locally, do not target all of the United States. Okay? Don't do it. So we just X that out and it'll actually give us a map, right? So right now I'm in Vista. We can go to Vista. and it'll drop a pin. And then from there, you can mess with how far out of Vista you want to advertise, right? So right now it's at 25 miles. So from Vista, it's targeting 25 miles outside of that of the center. You can scale it down to 10 miles if you want, or you can scale it up to 50, however you want to do it. So that's a big targeting option. Now, one thing that you can also do if you want to be just super targeted, like hyper local targeting, right? You can drop a pin, let's say right here. Now, if you drop a pin, you can actually go down to 1 mile, right? So I'll give you an example of how to use this. I know Olivia is here. So Olivia, if you have restaurant clients, if you just drop the pin directly on their location and target, 1 to 2 miles out, and just target everybody with, get a 10% off coupon or whatever. That's a really great way to do it for like restaurants or bars. That's a really, really great way to do the targeting for those types of businesses. But again, so for this one, we're doing a yoga studio. So let's target. Oh, and Elvira. So right here, you can see estimated daily results, right? Your reach, your potential landing page views. So this is what I was talking about, where if you upload that list of people that you want to retarget, if you start messing budget, right, this change and tell you what your daily reach would be, what your daily landing page views would be. So that's how you look at that. Don't be sexist. I do yoga. Okay, Mark. Well, we'll do a certain campaign just for you in just a second. Okay. So let's do 18 to 45. I'm just picking random numbers now, and then right here in the detailed targeting, this is where things get really interesting, right? So we can target people that are interested in yoga, maybe not yoga pants. A lot of people wear yoga pants that don't do yoga. Um, oh, and one thing that I want you guys to understand here as well, when we start to get into the interest, the detailed targeting, um, if you can target based off of behaviors. So a really easy and quick example I can give for this is for dog products, right? So if somebody has a behavior of going to the dog park, they most likely have a dog, and you want to get your dog products in front of them, right? Now, if somebody is interested in dogs, well, maybe they just like puppies. Maybe they just like dog videos. Maybe they just, you know, like dogs, but they don't have them. You have a higher chance of getting in front of your target audience if you choose behaviors because that's something that they do, right? Instead of just something that they're interested in. Overachiever. Yoga pants always fit. Yeah. Yeah. So that's just a trick for you guys is as you get into this, definitely pick behaviors over interests. And then, Mark, so this one is going to be um, relevant to you. I know for you, you try to get in front of like the C-level execs that are in charge of technology, right? So right here, you can click Browse, Demographics, Work, and you can actually search by job title right here, right? Technology job title. Nope. Let's try CEO, Chief Employers. Um, does it show owner? Yeah, so it says right here you can target by owner, you can target by founder. So this is something that you're just gonna have to mess with, right? Owner and founder. So if you're trying to get to the owner, um, you can also target based off of industries. So depending on what industry you want to get in front of, you can pretty much break down right here. So right here, IT and technical services. So Mark, if you were trying to look for a partner that was in IT and technical services, you can just boom target them right here. Um, Another one. So I always think of the wedding industry just because my brother's in it. So if you were in the wedding industry, Karen, I believe you're in here. I'm not sure if you do any wedding photography, but if you were, you can target people that are engaged or in a relationship and show them ads for your wedding photography services, right? Um, Life events, anniversaries. So again, I'm not sure if you guys know any caterers. This is an amazing way to target for caterers, anniversary parties, birthdays, right? Newly engaged, again, for the wedding industry. Let's see. So, parents, if you guys have any services that are specific to parents, you can target parents that have children that are less than a year old, right? 3 to 5, 1 to 2, 9 to 12, all sorts of different targeting right here. You can just start to honestly just dig into this and find a bunch of different stuff. Education level, right? You can target based off of that, based off of different schools. Um, so that's a really cool way to use the demographics. And then, like I said earlier, behaviors over interests. So let's see, we're already at an hour and 12, but I just want you guys to know that this resource is here. And what I would honestly just do is just click browse, dig through what's in here, and it'll give you ideas of how you can target um, for your own for your own marketing campaign. But let's stick with the, like I said, the yoga studio. So yoga, boom. So right now within my location, um, and 20 miles out, 25 miles out, I can target 220,000 people that are fitting my description for an ideal client. So that's why in that post that I made earlier, or I think it was last night, I wanted you guys to think of who your ideal customer is, who your ideal client is, because this is where all of that information plays into. Okay, if you have a good idea of who your ideal client is, what magazines they read, what schools they attend, as much information as you can feed Facebook, the better your campaign will do, right? So we'll leave the audience targeting for now. The next thing I want to go over with you guys is the placements. Don't ever let Facebook do automatic placements for your ads because you'll waste your money. Okay, what you want to do is go into the manual placements and you want to uncheck all of these. Okay, I've done a lot of testing with all sorts of different placements, and all of these, unless you have an e-commerce store, um, is pretty much a waste of money, right? Uncheck all of these. Oh, uncheck. And the only ones that you want is going to be your Instagram feed. Those two placements for your ads are going to be the most uh, successful. They just work the best. Okay, you guys get the idea. I'm not going to wait for this one just so we can have some Q&A time at the end. Um, Yeah. They really just want to have your Facebook news feed and then your Instagram feed as your placements, and that's it, right? Uh, so the last is going to be our budget. So I usually do landing page views for optimization for ad delivery, just because that's our goal, right? Is to get people onto our landing page. And then for budget and schedule, you just put whatever ad budget you want, and that's pretty much it. Let's see, is there anything in here? Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Is just to just set your budget and then landing page views. Continue. Make the target audience here. Yes, this is recorded. Milena, if you have to go ahead and I'll have this replay up literally as soon as we're done here. It should just add on to there, so you can see it whenever you're ready for it. Okay, so we did our audience. Now the last part is message and creative. So for the creatives, right? And what I mean by creatives is the image or the video that you use. I use a tool called Canva, and this is free, and I'll show it to you here in just a second. But for Facebook images, you want to have the resolution for the width as 1200 and then 628 height. Or if you want a square image, 1080 by 1080 is going to be the best. And then the only thing for Instagram videos is that if you're running an ad, you can only have it up to 60 seconds long. If it's longer than that, it won't run. So let's do Hey, Olivia, comes to the group. Yes. So before this content would benefit, somebody, go ahead and as possible, because right now everything is hitting everybody. Facebook. Cool thing about you just type in what you're looking for. Book ad, right? Suggested Facebook ad 1200 by 628. Boom, click that. Want to go over a few things. Have a good everyone. All right, Amir, see you later. And the cool thing with Canva is it'll give you some templates, right? So they're giving me some templates. Let's choose this one. And it's super easy. You can literally design your graphics just from here. Right? So let's say how I would do this is 10% off next yoga class, right? And you can just drag and drop it. You can change the size of your font, the color, what font you're using, right? Right here, I would do XYZ Yoga Studio. Let's see. Element photos. Yoga. Right? And you can get some free stuff that you can use. Drag and drop. Right? Resize it. However, and then position, send backward. I guess I should have gotten rid of the fruit, but I I just really wanted to show you how this all works, right? So you can still see it's a person doing yoga. If you got rid of all the fruit, you'll see it says 10% off your next yoga class. And boom, you just download this ad. So that's Canva. So if you guys ever need to come up with your own copy or your own creatives, this is a really good resource to have. It's free. Canva.com. You just you can just Google it and you'll find it. Um, but if we go back right here, how close are we to the end? Okay, so we're pretty much at the end, which is going to be talking about the ads, and this is really the one that takes um, the most effort. So here we are on the ad section, and usually the way I go through my ads is I have a bunch of different images that I'll, kind of doctor up like this. I'll have different colors of text, different images, and then I'll upload them into the ads manager. And then to upload the image, all we got to do is add media, add image. We can upload. Yeah. Neon fruity business Facebook ad. Canvas fun. Yep, it is pretty fun. I will say I'm not a very creative, colorful person, but I do enjoy making ads in Canva. Um, that's probably what I have the most fun with as far as my creative pursuits, creating ad images. So this has taken a while to upload. Um, so I was running ads for a baby product, so that's why there's so many babies on here. Here, I'll just show you this ad or this image. Start closing out tabs, maybe that'll help. Okay. Oh, and then one tip that I have for you guys too is if you are making your own creatives, man, this is really bogging down. Okay. So one tip that I have for your creatives is I love using the color orange. If you guys ever watch the Fire Festival documentary, um, that is my reasoning. That really, other than that, it's I just love using the color orange just because of that movie, and I do get really good results from it. So test that out. But I've done like green, reds, and this kind of orange is usually the one that performs really well. So let's talk about what is um, the elements of a good ad. So the first thing that we have here is you need to call out your audience, right? So if we were targeting in our targeting, right, in our ad set targeting, we were targeting women, the first line of this ad that I would have would be, hey, ladies, right? Because if you're a woman and you're on Facebook and you see, hey, ladies, it's going to grab your attention, right? And that's the point of it, is because that's who we're trying to get, who we are trying to find. And we want to sell the benefits, not the product. So, a really great example of this is I was listening to a podcast, and they're talking about how you sell a set of wrenches to a guy, right? You don't sell, the set of wrenches where it's a 10-piece set, it's this size, and that size, yada yada. No, that's not what you sell. How you sell it is, if you buy this wrench set, you can finally get that to-do list done so you can sit down and watch the football game, right? And that's how you sell the benefit, not the product. We want to add scarcity and mitigate the risk. So for the yoga studio example, how I would do that is, I only have 10% off coupons, so grab yours now, right? If you can use numbers and quotes, and this works really well for B2B, right? So sometimes when I run marketing campaigns, I, throw a number as, oh, we just delivered our client 57 leads over the course of 2 weeks, right? Something like that. And then you want to tell your audience what to do. And I'll give you an example for that, but the easiest way to think about it is after they read your ad, you want to tell them what to do. Here's what you do next. Click this ad or click this, turn in your information, sit back and we'll contact you, right? The last thing that you want to have is to run ads, and then in the comments you see like hundreds of comments that says I'm in, where that's not what you want them to do, right? You want them to fill out the information and opt into your offer. So you want to tell them what to do. Again, we want to sell the click and not the product. And then we want to use attractive and positive images. And then we want to keep our text under 20% in your creative. So this last one right here, there's a test for it. So Facebook image test. You can just search Facebook image test. They have here the text overlay tool. So in Facebook, if your images have more than 25% as text, it won't run very well. And if your whole creative is just all words, it's not going to run at all. So to test that, you can actually upload into here. So this is that ad that we just made. You just upload it. Yeah, so you upload it, it says image text, your ad will run normally, right? So you just check whatever creative you're going to use with that tool. So writing ad copy. So this is something that's going to be dependent on your product. The more expensive your product, the longer your ad copy is going to be, right? And that just makes sense, right? If a product costs $1,500, you're going to have to do a lot of selling from your Facebook ad versus if it's a, $20 trinket, right? So for like if the product costs less than like $30, I usually do 2 to 3 lines. But if it's more than that, I start to add more, right? So the higher dollar your product, the more selling you need to do. So let me first give you a bad example, right, of an ad. So right here it says, first of all, I have no idea who this person is or who my mobile notary service is, but his ad says, be safe out there, folks. Call or text, phone number, I'll come to you. And the headline says, my mobile notary service on Google. I'll be very surprised if he got leads out of this, just because, it's not really creating urgency or making me want to dial his number, right? Yep. So Karen copy is the hardest for me. I'm going to share a resource with you guys here in just a second that I use. Another one. This is actually a mock-up ad that I made. So this is an example for I did a pitch for a carpet company, and I told them you don't want your ads to look like this. Have dogs. Are your carpets a mess? Get 50% off a carpet cleaning from Carpets R Us ABC. Right? It's not very enticing to want to click that ad, right? So let me give you an example of a good ad. So this is another one. So again, this is carpet cleaning ABC. Let me just zoom in. So the ad reads, "Attention, Carlsbad," right? I'm calling out my audience. If you live in Carlsbad and you saw this ad, you'll probably read through the ad, right? Own a dog, maybe kids. So now I'm trying to see. So for a carpet cleaner, usually pets and kids are the number one source of dirtiness in your carpet. So those are usually good clients. So Carpets R Us ABC is offering 50% off a carpet cleaning to 30 local residents. So right here, we're creating that urgency, that scarcity. We're only offering this to 30 people, right? Now we want to give that person an option to click right here and not have to read throughout the entire ad if they are interested in the offer just from this line. Okay. Now the next part, our biggest promotion of the year, Carpets R Us ABC has served over 1,200 homeowners in the Carlsbad area. So right here we are building our authority. If this company has already worked with over 1,200 homeowners in the same area, well, I'm a homeowner in that area. They'll probably do that well as well, right? So many of them have dogs or young children. They're also keep it oh so messy. So we're just trying to add a little bit of humor to the ad, make them laugh a little. So this next part is really important. People today are just really skeptical. So we got to give them a reason why we're offering the discount, right? And this literally could be anything. Like, why are we doing this? Well, it's Tuesday and the sun is shining, so we want to spread the positivity and love to our clients. It literally doesn't matter. You just got to tell them, why are you doing this? So for this ad, because Bernie, our office Labrador Retriever, said so. Also, because Dave, our CEO, noticed when we clean our house in the neighborhood on a weekend, your neighbors get jealous and give us a ring after, right? So it really doesn't matter. So I was actually running an ad for a dog trainer, and our why are we doing this is, well, it's springtime and it's time to go to the dog park with your dog, and it's really embarrassing when your dog is really aggressive and likes to bark, right? It literally was as simple as that. So if we keep going, so you can thank your neighbors for the discount. We'll even hand you a referral card to offer them so that Sally invites you over to get wine drunk over the next episode of Grey's Anatomy. And in case you're like super skeptical, again, super skeptical, we want to build more authority, or in denial that guests to your home don't notice how dirty your floors are, we have an A+ rating on Better Business Bureau, a 4.75 rating on Yelp, and we are simply awesome, right? So again, we are just building that authority. Now the next part is just getting that local residence, right? So Carpets R Us ABC is located in 123 Carlsbad Drive. So yes, we are local. A lot of people like to work with local businesses. Hidden fees, yep, the competitors have them, but not us. And right here, we are telling them what to do, right? Here's what to do next. Click the link right here. Claim one of our 30 coupons, so adding scarcity. Google search our company in case you really want to see how legit we are. We're building our authority. Call us to confirm your appointment. Again, we're telling them what to do. And go to Amazon, buy yourself a gift with all the money that you saved. P.S. We'll bring a treat to your dog when we come, so not to. So again, we're just adding a little bit of humor to the ad. So this is an example, and what I'll actually do is I'll send this. Do you guys want this template? Is that amount of copy more than 20% of your creative? Elvira, I'll be honest with you, it may or may not look like it, but once I run it into that text overlay tool in Facebook, as long as they say it's okay, I kind of just forget about it. Um, but tell me, do you guys want this sample ad just so you can kind of have a template? Let me know in the chat. While you guys are telling me if you want it or not, um, here's how this breaks down, right? So this part of the ad, okay, goes into, I'll close this, the primary text, right? So, hey, ladies, tired of, ooh, um, I'm not this ad just because we're running short on time. But right here, this is where the main part of your text goes. This part will go right here. And then your headline is right here. And usually for the headline, I just write the offer. So for this, if this was the yoga, get 10% off. Computer's really slowing down. You really think people who are scrolling will look? I love the humor. This is where I struggle because I know my own scrolling habits. Yes. Awesome. So, Karen, if you are worried about if people keep scrolling, um, try to add the color overlays on your creatives and be really specific with how you call out your audience. That's the best way to get them to look. So for the headline, get 10% off your next yoga class. Yeah, and you know what, Karen, you might fall into that again, that bucket of people that just don't engage with ads or anything like that. So, it just again, we're playing the odds here because of the audiences that we pick. Um, so the website URL is where you put in your landing page. So if this was just going to my website, I would just type in beaconseo.com. The description I don't really worry about, just because if just because a lot of the audiences that you're going to get in front of is going to be on their phone. Um, yeah, I don't really usually worry about the description. Um, and then the display link is just so the display link is just what would show up right here. So if you want to have something else show up instead of just your domain name, you can change that right here. For the call to action, I almost always use learn more. Um, like 95% of the time, it's learn more. Other than like e-commerce would be shop now. So let's see. So I'm at 1 hour, 39 minutes. I really just want to start fielding questions now. So if you have any questions, start adding them to the chat. Like I said, what I'll do is I'll save this and then send it to every group so you have that. And I'll also save this slideshow so you have it as well. Really, the last slide on here is going to be the 7 steps to launch a campaign, and you can just follow this, right? So step 1, get your customer list and lead list ready, right? So that's that's this spreadsheet that I have right here of these people. If you have that, have it ready. The next is you want to create the custom audience from your current customer list And if you have a separate list from people that are leads that are not customers yet, you can also create a list for that, a custom audience for that. Uh, and then the next steps would be create a lookalike audience from your current customers so that you can run ads to them. The next step would be create a lookalike audience from your leads, and then create that custom conversion to your thank you page. So now we can tell Facebook, hey, if somebody goes through all of these actions and end up here, that's an action that I want to track. And then from there, you'll have 4 audiences that you can work off of, right? So you'll have your current customer list, you'll have your lead list, you will have a lookalike of your current customer list, and then a lookalike of your lead list. So you'll have 4 audiences, and then for each audience, I usually do 4 ads, and if you do 4 ads for each of the 4 audiences, when you're done, you'll have 16 ads to test, right? And that's a good amount. And really after that, it's all about seeing which ones perform, and if they don't perform, you just turn them off. Um, and before we move forward, so with this, with the 4 ads, you don't have to create 16 different ad variations. I would just create 4 ads and then use the same ones for the different audiences. So you really just have to come up with 4 ads and then just copy them to the different audiences. So would the ad be ready to go as is for Instagram as well? Yes. So I didn't show that, but right here, you can select an Instagram account. So if you have a specific one, you can connect it here. But if you don't have an Instagram account, so for Beacon, I don't have an Instagram account, I don't believe. So if I just click this, they'll just run it off of Beacon and connect it to my Facebook account. And then you can, if you want to, click right here where it says Instagram, and then Instagram feed, and it'll show you what it would look like on Instagram. Oh, so one more thing about Instagram, actually. One thing you guys should know is with Instagram, you cannot have links onto your text. So if you were adding, like right here, right, we would have a link right here. We would have a link right here. You can't do that with Instagram ads. So if you want to be really efficient and really specific, you can run a separate ad campaign that is just specifically for Instagram. I usually don't do that because usually what we want is have them click onto the learn more anyways. So that would just, I don't really see a big bump in my campaigns when I run separate Instagram ads versus Facebook ads. Now, if you were running like thousands and thousands of dollars each day, where each, pretty much each, penny here or there for the ads really start to matter because of just the scale, then you can do that. But right now I don't. What about hashtags? Would want them on Instagram, but not FB. So Nyla, with the hashtags on ads, I have not messed with that at all. So that's something. And one thing that I've been seeing with Instagram as well is instead of hashtags in the main text section, I've been seeing people put them in the comments, and I believe that still works really well. So that's what I would do. Is this why IG ads have link in their profile? Yes, that's why. Um, yeah, they just don't allow you to have links in your posts. Yep. Do you guys have any more questions? Keep throwing them in the chat. We have about 15 minutes left. We've gone through a lot of information today. Yeah. I thought this would going through all of this would take an hour. and then we would have like 30, 45 minutes of Q&A. That took a while. So there's definitely a lot of content on here. So yeah, any more questions, guys? And while you guys are typing in the questions in there, definitely try to do this tonight. And then tomorrow at the start of our next session, I'll field some questions based off of this topic and then, move forward. So if they keep clicking on other people's ads, people may click on mine because now I'm in their bucket. So if I click, yes, yep, yes, Karen, that is right. So depending on what actions you take on Facebook, you start to become profiled differently, right? So, um, me, for example, I don't usually like ads or statuses or anything like that. I usually just watch videos. So I have a lot of videos on my news feed because, you know, that's one thing with Facebook is know that they want to give their audience what they want, right? And so one thing too that I've run into in the past is I've run into business owners that think that Facebook is just trying to get their money. No, that's not true, right? Because if we run ads as a business on Facebook and it doesn't work, well, we'll stop running ads. Well, how does Facebook make their money? Ads. So they want us to succeed with our campaigns as well. I think on an IG ad, the call action button would be your link. Yep, exactly. So that would be the learn more, right? So in this ad copy, click here link, the click here link, and then the um, the link right here, the website URL would all be the same. So if somebody clicks learn more on an Instagram ad, it would take them to the same landing page. Thank you for showing up, Gita. I'll see you in the next one. Basically, start clicking on ads. You don't have to, Karen, if you don't want to. You'll just see different ads based on what you do. Although I mean, oh, here, let me show you guys a really cool tool. Ad library. So if you have a company that you just really like their ads and you want to see what kind of things that they're running, if you go to the ads library, and this is really cool too, Karen, if you have a hard time writing copy, um, you can just uh, go into the and if you find a brand that does really good ads, let's do Grant Cardone. Is that Grant Cardone is running from this library. So now if you want to don't copy the ad copy, but just kind of reword it to make it your own, but get the general idea, you can do that. You're welcome, Nyla. I'm glad you found it really helpful. Elvira, yes, the plan is to do this again tomorrow, but tomorrow is going to be Google Ads. And to be honest with you guys, based on the amount of information that we've gone through here, um, most likely I will keep these videos on here longer than a week, maybe 2 weeks. We'll see. But this is a lot of information. So I want to give you guys a chance to be able to digest it and implement it before I take them down. You're welcome, Karen. Guys have any more questions? Give it one more minute. All right, so it looks like I don't have any more questions. So yeah, go ahead and try this out tonight, guys, or tomorrow morning. Um, if you run into anything, like I said, the best way to do this is to have this video playing and then watch me do it and then you try it. And then if you have any questions about the processes tomorrow, we'll answer them at the start of the session. Um, yeah, I think I'll have questions after you've tried it. That's totally fine. Elvira, thank you for showing up. I'm glad you guys found this really helpful. Awesome. Sounds good, Karen. So yeah, go ahead and try that out. And tomorrow we will go over any questions that you have. All right. Thanks, guys, for showing up today. I will see you in the group, and I'll see you tomorrow.